Hi guys, welcome to day 2 of my over the board tournament. Man oh man oh man! I've just analyzed the game and there's a lot of surprises in there. So yesterday I blundered against my first opponent who was 15-15 rated. Gave away a knight in a fork and I couldn't come back from it. He was too strong. He had no mercy on me and he finished the game. Today I was paired with a 1587 rated opponent, so I was kind of hoping after a loss you get a lower rated opponent, but it doesn't work that way. You're getting paired with the results. So this 1587 person lost his first game and I lost my first game, as did some other people, but yeah, so I got paired with a 1587, so it was quite high, but I have beaten and drawn against these rated people before. So yeah, this is what happened. Um, the only thing I can tell you, there's a lot of surprises in the review because I got away from it feeling really psyched. Spoiler alert: it was a good game. Well, it wasn't a good game, but the end result is good. but and I thought I thought it was one of my best games ever. It was really strong and attacking, but it was a bad game. Anyway, so I played with 62% accuracy. No, sorry, 69% accuracy, and my opponent with 62.9, 63% accuracy. So we both played a terrible game basically. And I thought I had him against the ropes and I was really strong. I was Magnus Carlsen. I had one of the best games of my life. Attack, attack, attack. Nope, Stockfish disagrees. I was playing with white. I was trying to get the Jababa London in. Also been practicing with the Stonewall. But I've only recently started that, so in the tournament I'd like to go for setups that I'm familiar with. And a lot of moves gives me the opportunity to proceed with the Jababa London, but this move doesn't. Because now he attacks my bishop. This bishop and possibly this knight can be looking at this square. But it takes away that opportunity. And I was kind of thinking, should I bring my queen here? But I did that before, and I think Stockfish in the review says in the analysis that's not the right way. It's an inaccuracy. So I thought about bringing my knight here, and then maybe recapturing and having two pawns here, two attackers on this pawn. Like if I bring my knight here, he takes, I retake. I have two attacks on this pawn, but he can just, I don't know, defend it. Yeah, so I opted for this move, which is an inaccuracy. I did actually consider this, but then I thought he can push this pawn and I need to go back again. Anyway, so and I thought if he takes, as he does now, you can just push this pawn. It's quite a strong structure. He takes, I retake, and he's obviously maybe trying to get the bishop out. But not too concerned. Obviously attacking this pawn, so I need to defend it. Yeah, he's being a bit cautious. But to be fair, I mean, I was at the moment trying to figure out ways to attack my opponent. And so I was thinking about if I bring my bishop out here, I can bring my knight out here and put pressure on this pin piece. And if he takes, I take. And so if he takes with the bishop, I take with the pawn and I have a strong structure. But I was too focused on attacking and not looking at my defense. Because obviously this pawn is just hanging. Which is a blunder because it gives away a pawn, and I did realize it when I moved. But then I thought like, okay, so he takes it, which he did. I thought I can take it, double up his pawns. But then I realized he can just push this pawn, and I take. Hang on. What did I think? If I take this knight, he pushes, and then he. Yeah, I kind of thought like he's probably gonna be able to undouble his pawns, and then it's not worth giving up your bishop. But first I thought still, can I put pressure on this pin piece? So I thought like if I bring my queen here and then my knight here, put pressure on this pin piece. Yes, he can take it with the bishop. But then I thought like I have my queen here, knight still pinned, and maybe, I don't know, castle and bring my other rooks out for attack. That's what I was thinking, but he castled, so this knight is not pinned anymore. I castled and I bring it back. Not the right move. Not the right move. Yeah. So there's nothing really I can do to save this bishop because you can't go anywhere. Well, actually, it could go here, but that's where it just came from. And then he takes, and I take, and then he'd have. Then he would be able to get this pawn. So I didn't really want to do that because I'm already down a pawn. So I thought like if I just bring my rook around, which I did, and take the rook and bring my bishop over here, he takes probably because I'm threatening to take his bishop. Well, not for free, but and then I have my queen here and my rook here, and I can go for attack. That's what I thought. He pushes the pawn, but obviously I can't take it because defended by the bishop. I go for my plan. He takes, I take. He pushes. Okay, so he wanted me to go to a different square. Okay. Yeah, it looks like a nice move. I mean, you're looking at this rook with the rook behind it. But I can threaten a checkmate first and then move this rook away. So only move, it took like 10 minutes to think about it, but this is the only move you can make. And now I just step away. So the threat is gone, I'm saving myself a rook. And now he's, I think he kind of was thinking that he's a pawn up and my attack is quite strong. I thought my attack was quite strong, but the evaluation bar is saying we're even. It's a drawing position. I thought I was really strong. I didn't want to trade because I had quite a lot of plans in my in my head. Like what I was thinking before he brought his queen out here, I can bring my knight here, here, and then either check here or check there, and that could be really potentially quite devastating for my opponent. And I think he might have realized that, so he offered me a trade. I didn't want it. He offered me another trade. I didn't want it. And I thought at this moment, this guy is 1587 rated. If he goes into repetition, I'll join him and we get a draw. I would have gone for a draw. But he didn't want to. And that's fine. I didn't think this move was going to do anything because this pawn is just blocked. The bishop is just looking at this pawn. It's just like a strong pawn at the moment. Nothing really more than that. So I thought like I could still bring my knight out here and go for a check or a check. The square is obviously defended by my queen. But then he pushed the pawn and then I got into not a great deal of problem, but it got kind of a bit messy and a bit. I really have to put in my thinking cap. I thought I was way up, but looking at the analysis, I wasn't actually. It's a drawing position still. But obviously with 3 pawns marching up the board, even though he's weakening his king side, he's potentially, like, these guys are in a forking position. And my queen is running out of squares. So it's getting a bit worried here, but this is the only move. And then and I didn't realize that this pawn isn't actually doing anything because it's pinned to the queen, to the king. Yeah, so what I should have done is push this pawn, attack the pinned pawn, and if he pushes, I take it with a check. And if he doesn't take it, this is what Stockfish wanted. And say if he pushes, I'll just take with a check, and then yeah, oh, I missed something here. Force into checkmate. What did I don't get to see the. Oh, this way. This way. Ah, because now he can only move here. If he moves here. Oh my god, this is checkmate. If he moved. See, this is why I thought I was playing well, but I actually wasn't. And if I go here. No. What did one of me? What, so where did we? Hey, huh? What did she recommend? For checkmate that was missed. I'm not seeing what Stockfish sees as the forced checkmate. Yeah, that doesn't really help me. Okay. Hang on. So, okay. I mean, this is this is beyond my pay grade. I mean, I'm only I don't even have an over the board rating, and online I'm like 1157 at the moment. So this is a check. Only squares to go to, and the game is over. Wow. Yeah. Don't blame myself. Don't blame myself. This next level shit is defending this square. These squares are covered by the queen. Dear me. Okay, no wonder I got a low rating, a low accuracy. Yeah, so this is why Stockfish wanted me to push this point. Okay, let's have a look if he didn't take. Let's say he... okay, so he says... Okay, this is the wrong way. What... he doesn't actually say what the best way is, but let's say if he takes... Oh, he can't take. So let's say he just stepped away. I take, he takes, check, block. Okay, so yeah, okay, so the first sequence was devastating for my opponent, but if he made the right moves, I would have only been 1.7 points up. Okay, so that's that kind of gives me makes me feel a little bit better because I thought I missed something incredibly big here, but okay, so he made this move. I didn't make the right move. I went back and he pushed again, and I must have spent like easily 15 minutes here because obviously he's gonna push this pawn here and fork my rook and my knight, and my queen obviously can't take it because she's defended by the pawn. And if he pushes this pawn here, I can give a check, but it's defended by the queen. So it's kind of getting a little bit worried. But then I thought, like, hang on, what if I... Oh, let me get rid of all these colors. What if I sacrifice my bishop? I thought, like, if he takes, I can take and maybe bring my other rook into the game. But then I thought like, okay, well, if I take, you can also take with the rook and attacking my queen. And I can't actually go for this pawn because it's defended still. So that doesn't work. Then I thought like, what if I take this pawn? He takes, I take with a check. And if he moves away, I thought maybe I can get a perpetual. But then I thought like I can also just defend it with the rook. And I was thinking I can bring my other rook into the game, but I can't bring it here, or here because defended by the queen. I can't bring it here because defended by the bishop. Yes, I can bring it here to put some pressure on this pawn, but it's defended by the bishop. And I'd have to sacrifice a rook for the bishop, which is also still defended by the rook. So after 15 minutes, I thought like, okay, not worth it. I mean, I've been over the board games at my local chess club. I've been just experimenting with all these sacrifices and stuff, and I've learned that if you don't see the possibility of going all the way through to a checkmate or like capturing something bigger than what you're sacrificing, is not worth it. Even if you have a small slither of doubt, don't do it. Unless it's like a friendly game, there's nothing really happening, you can try. But I didn't, and I made a mistake. Yeah, he wanted to go there where I came from, and then probably pushed the pawn. He stepped away, and then I thought like, but now you can push the pawn. Obviously, my rook is still a little bit in danger. Because if he pushes the pawn, yes, I can go here, but then he pushes the pawn. I can give a check. But then my rook is still... Oh yeah, my rook is still quite shaky. I don't think he saw it. Yeah. Hang on. Yeah. So he wanted to go here. Yeah, and then I thought like he goes here. He's probably going to push this pawn. Oh, actually, okay, he doesn't. Ah, okay, if he pushed this pawn, I didn't even see that. My rook is stuck. I need to sacrifice it. Wow. So the strong opponent didn't see all of these things. But then again, I did see a lot of other things. I thought he can push this, but then I can give a check. He needs to move, say here. And then I can give another check. Doesn't he? Yeah, he can go here, here. In both opportunities, both moves, I can check. And he steps away. Oh, and then okay. Then my rook still would have been in danger. Because this bishop is still looking at it and my rook has got no escape squares. Okay, so yeah, glad he didn't see that. So I missed some stuff, he missed some stuff. Okay, I thought it was a good move. I wanted to give my rook some breathing space so he can leave if it's being attacked. And I'm doing it by putting a tempo on this pawn, because it's attacked twice now. He pushes it. Okay, so Stockfish says go here. Even if I take it, he takes this pawn. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, and this move is I'm not quite sure why. So if you're watching this and you see why this is a losing move, when I put it into the system, I didn't quite follow. I didn't understand why. Okay, that's why. It would have been 2 pawns down. Okay. You can still take it. Maybe 1 pawn up. Yeah, and then probably... Could have given a check. But then this... Oh yeah, if I give a check and he takes... I take... Oh no, hang on. Then obviously I take with the pawn. Otherwise this pawn is hanging. Yeah, it would have been down. It would have been worse off. So... This is the reason why we're both in the bottom group. Because we're not seeing all the right things. Anyway, so I made this move. I wanted to get out of danger and maybe bring my rook over here to stop this pawn from advancing. And he attacks my queen. It's a mistake because he missed the tactic. Yeah, this obviously tries to checkmate the king. So he steps away, which is the only right thing to do. I can't take it, obviously, because it's defended by the queen. I didn't do the right thing here either. Oh, actually, I did. This is funny because in the when I put it into the computer system, it recommended this square, which I find a little bit sketchy because if I put my queen here, and if he has any... Yeah, my queen would be undefended, so it'd be a bit tricky, I think. Okay, so now he moves his bishop back again. And now I'm starting to feel like I'm in control. And it turns out that's truth until I made a mistake again, and then I lost control. But now I had an opportunity to bring my... I wanted to pin... What I wanted to do was bring my queen over here, pin this rook, and then bring this knight over here to put pressure on this pin piece. But if I move my queen here now, he's probably going to push this pawn, and I have a problem. Yes, I can attack this rook, and he's going to take this rook, I'm going to take that rook. But I thought, like, let's move this rook down, out of trouble, and then proceed. And, and this time, my opponent picked up his rook and moved it over here. But he didn't let go yet, but he touched the rook, so he needed to move the rook. But he nearly let go of the rook over here. That would have just been obviously like a free rook. So unfortunately, he saw that. But I gave a check. And then he wants to trade queens. Yeah, and I did the right thing. Putting a tempo on the bishop. He can't take this pawn, obviously, because the bishop is a higher value. So he brings back his queen. Yeah, and then I thought, like, let's bring my knight over here, put pressure on this pawn, and he moved the rook. And I was kind of worried about him attacking this pawn, because obviously it's still very solid. But if he gets his queen and his and the rook lined up here, it's very dangerous. But I also knew, like, if he leaves this square, the queen, this is undefended. But it was a bit tricky, to be honest. So I was being cautious, and I think he needed to make a decision. Obviously, yeah, this pawn has been hanging for quite some time, but I wasn't interested in the pawn. I was interested in checkmating my opponent. We're getting into such a position that my opponent resigns. So I'm not interested in this pawn. And I thought, yeah, that was the best thing to do. I thought he was going to go here with the rook, then I take the pawn and we'll take it from there. But he defended that pawn. I think that was a mistake. Yes, I'm up 2.5 points now, but then I make a blunder and I'm not quite sure why. Oh, now it's not even a blunder. When I put it in the system, this was a blunder. I thought it was quite strong, because if he takes, I take. Hang on, the battery's nearly running out. My laptop is getting old. I thought like if he takes, I take, he takes, and I can either take with the queen, maybe trade queens, bring the rook over here, look at this pawn, and if he advances, I can just munch on all these pawns. So I thought like I was better, but actually my opponent is better in this position. But he made the wrong move. This is a blunder because this loses a rook. I might have done something wrong. I won material, but not a rook. And I made the greatest move. This is the way to win a rook, so I must have. Yeah, I made a lot of mistakes here. I even missed a checkmate, which you will see in a minute. Obviously now I'm attacking the queen. Yeah, and this I was kind of thinking this might have been a brilliant move. I made the move, and when I made the move, I realized, hang on, he's looking at my queen. But then I realized if he takes my queen, I can take his queen with the check and win back the rook. And maybe he should have done that. Yes. Yeah. Yeah, and this is a checkmate in 5. And I didn't see it. I didn't see it. That's probably because I was kind of worried now that he's got 2 strong pieces lined up against this pawn. So I was kind of worried. But this is a safe move because it's with the check. He needs to take it. And if he can't obviously take it with the queen because he's going to take it with the rook. So it takes with the bishop. Stockfish actually recommends taking with the queen and sacrificing your queen. Reason being, and I didn't see it. So if you see it, congrats. Well, it's basic chess, but when you're in a tournament and you've been playing chess for like 2 hours, 2.5 hours, yeah, you kind of miss things, but this is just a game over. But I didn't see it. All I was thinking about, and this is something I just need to learn, which is no shame. All I was thinking about, hang on, no matter what I do, I need to prevent him from coming in here with a check. It's not even a checkmate, but yeah, I was too worried about my position in defense. You can even push this pawn. No, he couldn't. Anyway, I was too worried about, I felt I had a great position and I thought I need to just trade it to queens and go into a good endgame. So I missed a checkmate in 1, but I checked. 1 square to go to, I think. Yeah. And then I took the bishop with the check. And if he takes, I also take with the check. And then maybe go here or here and just munch on all the pawns. And he stepped away. And I was kind of thinking like, is there a checkmate or not? But I also thought like, if I go for all kinds of checks and at a certain point I can't follow up, this is really tricky. So I decided to take the queen. He took my queen. And I stepped out of the way with the check. And my opponent resigned. Because he's 5 points down. He's 3 points down in material. He's gonna, I don't know, yeah, munch on the pawns and whatever. And finish off the game. So yeah, lucky me. I thought I had a really strong play. I thought maybe 85-90%, 69%. So lessons learned. If you think you're doing great, there might be something even better. So I missed a bunch of things. My opponent also. That's part of the game. So 2 games down, 1 loss, 1 win. So still in the game. Specific still in the game for hopefully getting to a 1500 over the board rating. Because I lost 1 15-15, but I won 15-87. So that's gonna give me a lot of points. So yeah, great. Happy with me today, even though apparently it wasn't too great. Anyway, gotta go, dinner time, and I have some other plans tonight. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave some comments if you want. Did I miss something? Would you have played things differently? Did you think my opponent could have played something differently? If this is the first video you're seeing on my channel, look at my channel, go check it out. Currently I'm covering my over-the-board tournaments, but I also cover online games. I have a rapid rating climb to 1500. I've recently finished a rating climb to 1000 blitz, got to 1001. And when this tournament is all done and dusted, I'm gonna focus on rapid and blitz again. Go check it out and subscribe to my channel. All right, thanks a lot and see you later. Bye bye.